So this one, I guess for the people that keep track, this I guess is referred to as Face 3, because my first three boards basically had the big Captain Harlock face. So here it is, 1989, Face 3. This is the third version of my model for House of Kasai. This was actually my favorite overall. For me, everything kind of came together on this one. I was really a big fan of the graphics, which done by Rick Froberg, also known as Rick Farr or Rick Fork. Rick Froberg of Drive Like Jehu, Hot Snakes, and the Obits. But so Rick was an artist working for Tracker and Transworld and the like. And so he did this one. And they wanted to kind of break away a little bit from the other one, which I should have brought another example in, but I don't have it. But but they wanted my name bigger. So that was the key. It's like, okay, you got to have my name bigger somehow. And so Rick and I talked about some of the elements that I wanted to keep. The Captain Harlock guy, of course, was the sort of became my look. And then the clan of the Illuminati pyramid, although I didn't know that, but I got it from Steve Vai, the 777 pyramid with the eye. And so we kept that. And then when we talked about kind of lettering style, I was kind of into a lot of like 60s psychedelic music. So I was listening a lot to Hendrix and Clapton and things like that. So we kind of loosely based my name, can I hold it right, with that in mind. With that kind of style. And so Rick I just said, run with it. And he definitely came up with something completely different from the others. And I really like it. And then I also happen to really like the shape. Everything kind of came together there. I actually found the dimensions from an old ad. Apparently it's 10 1/8 here. It's a pretty wide board. 10 1/8 at the widest. And it's just over 31 long. So it's a 4.5 inch nose. Ooh, 4.5. That's pretty big. Look, there's my measuring point. Just enough nose. 4.5 and a 7-inch tail. And I don't know why we wanted such a long tail. I don't know. I guess it seemed to work for me, but I was happy with it. It worked really well, and everything, like I say, everything came together. We even had a pretty good concave going on there. You can kind of see it. Had a good mold, and so I was happy with all of it. And unfortunately, this is the shortest lived version of the first three. I don't even want to talk about the fourth one, but but yeah. So for whatever reason, this was not around as long, but I really liked this one. And then for some reason they thought, well, that's not big enough. I need a bigger board, and we need even more overpronounced concave and whatnot. And so yeah, so this one was only around for a few months, but I really liked it. And this one actually belonged to my good friend Sharon Harrison, who's no longer with us. But after she passed, I happened to be over at the house. They were pretty much cleared out at her house, and I went over there and talking to her former partner, and this was up against the wall like this in the garage, and I saw it across the way from the garage, and I thought, wow, that really looks like my shape. And there was pretty much nothing else in the garage. And I walk up to it, and sure enough, was this board, original from '89, and barely ridden. It's got a couple of scratches. I'm sure Sharon was not happy with somebody who did a rock and roll on this somewhere. But the trucks are pretty much brand new. Even the plastic ultralight base plates are still intact. And I don't know why whoever put this board together put it together with lapper bolts. So they're like sticking up deadly. But I don't know. I didn't put it together. So that's that for this one. I'm going to grab this other thing, though. that kind of ties in with this. Hold on a sec. Oh, stay. So in the mid-2000s, for a short period of time, the House of Kasai was coming back. And so there was talk of putting a model out for me. I'm like, okay, great. And so I reached out to Rick Froberg and said, hey, they're going to do this model for me. And I say like a guest model or honorary model, because I certainly wasn't winning anything. So the only people that were going to care, that like the hardcore people that knew about me. So meaning like my parents, my sisters, my brothers, my cousins, my nieces and nephews. So, but anyway, so I reached out to Rick and said, hey, they're going to do a model for me. Would you like to do the graphic? And he said, sure. And so this was, I think, around 2008. And so Rick did the graphic for me. And unfortunately, the money kind of just went away. The bottom fell out of the House of Kasai. So the board it was shelved for many years. And then much later, I don't even remember how long ago this came out, my buddy Paul Wisniewski with Green Issue said, let's put something out for you. And so we acquired the art from the House of Kasai, person Jason. And so we bought it, and here is the limited edition Green Issue, Adrian Demain, Rick Froberg collaboration. And so Rick's art style is very identifiable. You can definitely see like Hot Snakes and stuff like that, but he's done some other things that just mainstream art, and when you see his styling, it's pretty unmistakable when you see it. So Rick did this for me, and was sort of like 2009 to 1989, sort of, and then it never happened. But I'm glad that this finally got made. There were only 50 of these, and this is number one, has no top graphic. Well, and apparently, I don't know if you can even see that, it says Watson Laminates. So this was made at Watson Laminates for me to ride, and I didn't ride it. So, but anyway, and what's really cool about this is that the background is actually glow in the dark. So sit in the sun for a while, and then you take it inside, and then it glows all green. So anyway, 50 of these. They're all gone to mostly relatives, but my friend Ron Samiano has one. I know that. Dan Siegel up in Seattle, out in Texas, has one. So yeah, that is the scoop on the boards, the old one and the new one, and yada yada yada.